Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of the Heroes Havens podcast. My name is Jake, and thank you for joining me. Today we got some some positive notes. I feel good about this. Going to be reviewing the movie. Going to be going over the new Peacemaker episode. Going to be reviewing episodes 1, 2, and 3 in depth of Gen V season 2. And I'm really excited for that. It's just going to be kind of like a reviewing forward kind of episode. But I actually have some positive things to say. Without further ado, I'm going to review Him by directed by Justin Tipping, starring Tyreek Withers and Marlon Wayans. Essentially a football superstar, the greatest of all time. Isaiah White is he's getting old and he's going to hang it up. And future prospect Cameron Cade, played by Tyreek Withers. Isaiah White, played by Marlon Wayans. He's going to take over the program. He gets, in the beginning, and I'm going to keep it non-spoiler. In the beginning, he gets severely attacked, and it costs him his career, kind of. And Isaiah White potentially offers him a deal, a camp, and says if he makes it through the camp for 7 days, he's got the spot. He's on the team. That's the correct word. Sorry. But yeah, so directed by Justin Tipping. And if I had to give this movie a review, which I do, I think it's a solid 6.5. I kind of want to create like a different scale outside of numbers. I will kind of give this a 6.5, like I said, but I do want to do it like a 1, 2, 3, and 4 tier kind of list. And I would say, like, if I could describe this movie as a movie, I think I'm a little disappointed I spent money to watch it, but I do think if this was a movie I had watched on streaming on like a random night off, I would have enjoyed it. But I mean, it's not worth going out of your way for. Yeah, it was a movie that heavily relied on the names of the actors and the visuals inside the movie. And to be honest with you, I thought the visuals were a little lackluster. I think things could have been emphasized more. I think there could have been more subtleties in all of the backgrounds. But it was just like all the budget went towards the actors. Most famously, I guess, Marlon Wayans. Like, I don't know what his budget was in the film, but it was just, this movie has 3, not themes, but like 3 demographics where this is a cult movie, this is a football movie, and then this is a rising, not a survival, but like a, what's the word? Like a survival of the fit, like a competitive aspect outside of football, like where the psychological of Cameron Cade is like, he will do what it takes. And I think this movie falls into 33% football, 33% cult, 33% competitiveness. And in that 33%, you never feel a real full film. You never feel like this is a football movie. And it's weird because it's like, it's portrayed as, this football cult movie. And I just never felt like it was all about football. I felt like they could have emphasized the football more. It's almost all football in the beginning, and then it just dead stops, and it doesn't even turn into a cult movie. And I think it just suffers from that. It never has a true identity for what the film is trying to do. This movie is just under 2 hours. I want to say it's an hour and 48 minutes, an hour and 56 minutes. But it's just, it could have used an extra 20 minutes developing each theme of the movie a little bit more and giving everything. This movie just really needed to establish what its identity was. Because going into the film, you think it is this identity of football cult, whatever it takes. And it is that, but not how, it's not even how I expected it. It just wasn't, it was just lackluster. It was just missing key elements in every aspect. And so when you go all in on actors, you expect them to perform, and Marlon Wayans, he does a great job. Do I think it was award winning? No, absolutely not. I think he does a great job, but then there's times where I feel he tried to be Marlon Wayans, and the movie pays a price for it. He does these random kind of comedic reliefs to kind of ease the tension, and I think it almost makes it like, I mean, it makes it comedic in a cult film. You know, you want to have this like tense. And when I say comedic, I mean, sometimes when it's so serious and you get that one little joke in an awkward situation, it's like, why are you laughing in this moment? And I feel like I never got that kind of comedic relief. It was definitely like, haha, we need a joke here. And I didn't quite understand that. Marlon Wayans, he did a good job. The way he portrayed, though, this coach-like embodiment, and he obviously takes it to the next level at a higher severity, but it was a really good job. And I think Marlon Wayans, it almost feels like Marlon Wayans maybe wasn't the right actor for this film. And I understand, I don't know if he's trying to branch out of what he is known for. Obviously, the Wayans Bros, comedy. When you think of, I mean, scary movies, you know, like when you think of comedies, Marlon Wayans is a godfather of the genre. And so I just think Marlon Wayans might have been this own movie's downfall, where it seems like this is where all the money went to. So when you expect someone to carry the movie in the way he does, I felt like this movie falls on his shoulders. It would have succeeded with him, but I think it fails with him. Not fails, because I don't want it to be that bad, but you know. I'm going to stop right here because I totally didn't even bring this up. Something that needs to be talked about is the way this movie advertised. This movie, speaking of writing with Succession and failing, Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele has almost no attachment to this movie, but his name was everywhere. Leading into the promos of this movie on the Kai Cenat stream, I had seen Marlon Wayans was on there, and he was literally saying like, oh, I'll call Jordan Peele right now. Like, we'll talk about the movie. And it's just super weird to me that they were kind of like relying on this. This movie was directed by Justin Tipping, and I think he deserves to take a lot of the blame as well, because, you know, like if the movie doesn't succeed, I mean, you know, the director's got to take a hit. He proved it. He didn't change this. He didn't change that. He was comfortable with the way it was. And I just think this movie needed a little bit more. And I don't understand. I mean, I understand why they did it, but I don't know how people can like allow these things to happen. It says produced by Jordan Peele. It was just inside his company. So his company produced this movie. And it was, yeah, like if Jordan Peele would have done this movie, I think it could have been infinitely better. I think he would have covered, I mean, Jordan Peele finds a theme and he attacks it. And I think this movie had a great premise, a great plot. It could have been amazing. It's just good. I think it's just a good movie, an average movie. Good might even be a little generous, but it's just Jordan Peele, maybe that was the fault with this movie, as you go in thinking this Jordan Peele level twists and subliminals, and there really wasn't many there. So back to the actors, Tyreek Withers, who plays Cameron Cade, who is the rising star. He did good. He actually, looking back on the movie, he doesn't have very many lines. I mean, he's just a good looking guy working out for 2 hours. Maybe in the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes, he gets to act a little bit. And I will say, I'll save that for the end. But I mean, this movie needed some more dialogue. I mean, it's just Marlon Wayans kind of performing, and granted, Cameron Cade's kind of like facial expressions is what sells within the movie. He did good. I mean, I have no faults with Cameron Cade's character. I wish he would have had a little more character development, like seeing the arcs, which is weird to say in a cult movie and a football movie where your main character doesn't have those. But yeah, he did good. I wish he would have had more dialogue to get us to see these really hone in on why he does what he does and why his faith is that strong in what he does. So kudos to him. I hope to see him in more things in the future, but yeah, we'll see him in things for sure. I mean, he did fine. He did great. Not worth Hollywood getting rid of him. And I wrote this down. I want to leave this part out. I'm making this spoiler free. At least I feel like I have so far. But the ending. So spoiler free and talking about the ending. The ending of this movie, I watched it with a buddy of mine. Shout out Nathan. So we kind of had polar opposite takes on this movie. He strongly believed that he loved the movie. I don't know if loved. I wouldn't say loved. But he really liked the movie and he disliked the ending. And I feel, while I wasn't necessarily... What's the word? Like, I wasn't toned out. Like, I was paying attention to the movie, but I also didn't really care throughout the movie. The ending is what hooked me. The ending is kind of what brought me back in. Maybe the reason I have so many, not so many, but why I have the good things that I have to say is because I feel like it did a good job of kind of like circling everything that happened. Didn't have as huge of an impact as I would have liked it to have because of all of the lackluster themes in the movie. And I just, I'm curious, like, what do you guys think as the listener, if you've seen him? If you haven't seen him, are you going to see him? And let me know below, like I said, and just summarizing again, my review on the movie, I think is I said a 6.5. I think I'm actually going to knock it down to a 6. I think it's just an average movie. I wouldn't pay to see it again. Like if I had watched it on a night off and I was just on the couch, I'd be satisfied. I'd be like, oh, it was a good Netflix movie. But, and that's not the best thing you want to hear always. So yeah, going next, I want to talk about Peacemaker episode 5. These will carry spoilers. I had mentioned this last week saying that episode 5 and episode 6 will be my make or break on my actual hype for James Gunn in the DCEU. And he did better. I will give James Gunn the credit. Episode 5 was by far the best episode of the season. But I don't even think this episode competes with season 1's worst episode. I don't think there even was like a worst episode definitively in season 1. So there's going to be 8 episodes this season. We're on episode 5, and I feel like the plot has officially started. And good thing, plot has started. Bad thing, we've already wasted 4 hours of everyone's lives. The show's halfway over, and we just started the plot. Also, the way James Gunn kind of hyped these 2 episodes up, you would think something more happened, and nothing spectacular really happened other than the plot had started. And I'm just so curious why he was talking these high highs. Like, why get the expectations? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I do want to talk about a spoiler that has not happened. I'll save that for the ending of the episode. But I just, sorry. I don't get it. I don't understand the way James Gunn's brain works. I feel like it doesn't work. I think he's a genius. I just think he needs to say his words out loud and let someone else articulate them, because his creative process, it just hasn't been working for me. I know this is actually an unpopular opinion, so what does it really matter? But yeah, Christopher Smith, Peacemaker, in the beginning of the episode, obviously last episode leaves off with Harcourt setting Peacemaker up for this invasion for all of Argus to take him down. My favorite trope in anything ever, I'm a hopeless romantic, is when someone, boy or girl, cannot love the other person, and if they do, bad things will follow. So my favorite trope is that, but they choose the love anyways. I love love. I love fighting for love. It's my favorite thing in the world. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. He chose to, he got the safe word. What was it? Concealment? I don't remember. And he asked Harcourt, he said, Harcourt, like, did you mean this? Like, what did you mean by this? Like, is this true? And he was there to risk his life, and he was going to do it all over again, 10 times over again. And Harcourt shot him down. And that is the part I disagree with. And she proved me wrong. Okay. She gave him the safe word, which I was not aware of. So I appreciate that she chose to defend Chris and then sell him out. But she sold him out while letting him know not to come, and he chose to come anyways. So it's kind of his fault, but I love that he chose that. But it's just, she did all of this just to turn him down again, and I think that's dumb. I think that's really dumb. Didn't make sense to me. Nothing in this makes sense to me. But it was just, I don't know. I don't understand these character arcs. I just feel like we're going backwards and we haven't progressed at all from season 1, other than the fact that we are all now friends. Like in 2 seasons. So from season 1, these people didn't like each other. They're set up together. And now we're friends, but we're still not stabbing each other in the back, because they aren't stabbing each other in the back, but it doesn't feel complete. Like there's still tension between all these characters, and I don't know. I just don't like James Gunn writing at all. And I could speak on why I don't like James Gunn writing at all, but I feel like you guys are getting sick and kind of tired of that. The next thing I have highlighted here is Agent Bordeaux is a cyborg. Now, I feel confident in saying I know more than most in comics, and I am actually not too DC savvy. Definitely a Marvel head, a couple independent comics. But I don't know, I feel I could say like I didn't know Peacemaker before Peacemaker. I don't know any of his side characters, Eagly, but Agent Bordeaux, Agent Bordeaux is a cyborg. Is AI, I don't know, but pretty fucking badass. And wow. Yeah. I think that's cool. I think it was nice for Peacemaker, and I'll give James Gunn his credit, to do something with his characters that were already in the show, as opposed to using characters that are a part of other projects and kind of like highlighting that aspect of everything. And it was nice. It was nice that James Gunn was using what he had as opposed to using the names of other things. So I'll give him that. This Eagly and Michael Rooker, I don't even know his character, but Eagly and Michael Rooker's character is just another side quest, a filler. So Eagly is now Eagly Prime. Don't know what that is, why that matters. Don't really care. Without Eagly being the chosen one, Eagly was still a badass. Eagly was still a lot of people's favorite characters. And I just think, like, who cares? Really, who cares? If you told me that Eagly is this chosen eagle god, as opposed to Eagly coming back with all the eagles and just saying, oh, he grabbed the homies, you're still going to think that's cool. I mean, it's almost like you're trying to do something to justify why Eagly is able to do these things. And Eagly's just one of those characters that you just accept it because it's badass. And James Gunn was like he's ruining that. And it's just filler. I really feel like everything this show has just been filler. I don't care. Autobio and Vigilante. Yeah, this was a huge problem of mine. So they're like, oh, I got a call that was a hooker call. I know it's a hooker call. I'm going to leave the crib still. Like, what? And then while they're on the road, they don't even make it to the hooker appointment. They turn the car around. And I get that was to vacate the house. But like, come on. Like, we could have done so many other things that made sense. Economos could have called and said, hey, like, I need you to do this. Argus is heading to this place, which is why you need to stop them or grab something there. and it was just so bad. It's just bad writing all around. It's just bad writing. And it's like, get it together, James. Like, really, really, please get it together. Like, this is my plea to you, James Gunn. Ask for help. Please ask for help. It's not too late. Don't drown yourself. Please ask for help. And yeah, I said this before, but like, dude, we have, like, it took 5 episodes to get to a point where John Cena, Christopher Smith, Peacemaker has chosen to leave this universe that has been hinted since episode 1. We haven't really done anything in it. Yeah, he had the coolest scene in the show so far where he saves in the other building in the other universe in the Nazi Bloodhaven. But like, what did we establish there other than Peacemaker as a hero, which we knew? I guess we gave it some footage, so that's kind of cool. Just kind of useless. Just more wasted stuff. And I hope it really feels like this entire season is going to be a lead up to season 3, which will be like exploring that other universe. I mean, everything that's happened so far could have been done in a movie, could have been done in a hour and a half episode. I think it's safe to say we could have done everything we've done so far that's important in an hour and a half episode of Peacemaker, as opposed to these like 38, 40-minute ones we've been doing. And so for the next maybe 2-3 minutes, I want to talk about this because this is a spoiler. This is not confirmed. So like, this is a Peacemaker spoiler, which will, I assume, be for the next episode. Could also be in episode 7 or 8. But, and I'm going to kind of give everyone a second to kind of step away now. The set leaks. And they're not even set leaks because every actor posted the picture, kind of, during filming. And John Cena, Christopher Smith, is wearing the same clothes that he is in the picture. And I'm going to put it up right here or right here. But Superman, like, why? Why is Superman here? There's no justifiable reason that Superman needs to be handling a Peacemaker type character, Peacemaker level character. And why did we all post this? I'm only going to post the John Cena picture. I don't want to dig through everyone's and find the picture for everyone. Autobio posted one, Vigilante posted one, and they're all just one-on-one pictures with David Cornsweet, and they're all in their like CGI like pin markers, kind of, with the little dots everywhere. Why did we post that? And what purpose does Superman actually have in this show? In a show that has done nothing with its original characters, given them no character development, giving them no arcs at all. And the only arc we do get is Christopher Smith going backwards. Like, why? Like, why are we gonna? I don't know. I don't agree with anything James Gunn's doing. This episode was definitely better, but I've said maybe 3 positive things. Just come on, James. Like, please, call me. Sponsor me, Yerba Mate. But going into some positivity, we're so back. We are so back. Gen V Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to go in order. This might be mundane. So when I had wrote these, I've created this habit where I kind of type what I'm thinking as I am reviewing and watching. I don't think it's the healthiest. I wish I could like watch something and hold on to that kind of information. And I think I could in a natural conversation. But when I'm in a surrounding kind of like this and I'm kind of talking to myself, it's harder for me to remember everything. And I kind of want to do the work to give you guys that my full and accurate thoughts. But so like in episode 1, I'll write some things that maybe get answered at episode 2 or 3. So just bear with me. You're kind of gonna listen to my brain unravel in real time. Episode 1, rest in peace, Chance Perdomo. May all of your loved ones find peace and just rest in peace. Way too young, a phenomenal actor. And you know, the first frame for Chance, and rolling off of that, I want to just say, like, episode 1, Gen V season 2, just phenomenal. It's so good. It's episode 1 is better than anything Peacemaker has done this new season. And yeah, I mean, so we'll just address this first. Killing Andre the way they killed Andre in the show, I'm really glad they didn't use any kind of body double, body frame. Happened off camera. You want to respect him and his family. They did it the best way they could. They did it with Andre being a hero, going past his limits, trying to get that door open, trying to not save himself, but save everyone else. And that's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And one more time, but rest in peace, Chance. Prayers to all your family members and loved ones. So the show feels like it's kind of tying up loose ends. It feels like it was tying up a lot of things that happened in the first season that were maybe left question marks, but it's doing it in a way that it's cutting one door and opening a bigger door behind it. Closing one door, opening a bigger door, and it's pushing the narrative forward. And I think it's that right there is just already better than Peacemaker. I mean, it's insane. It's so good. And Hamish Linklater, I'm not sure, plays the Dean Cypher, who I just recently rewatched Midnight Mass, and he is the pastor. And it's just, when you first see him, you're so, like, his ambience in the suit, it just carries so much presence. So many questions. You're just like, okay, like, I know this is a big dog. How, like, because, you know, obviously in this universe, like, if you get a position of power, you did something, you have something on another person, and we don't know anything about him. We don't know anything about Cypher. And I think that's so cool to create a character and give him that much mystery already, and just give, like, a character, when he's on the screen, you look at him. What is he doing? Why is he doing that? Why is he looking at this person that way? Because 75% of the time, he's just writing things down, which I think is creepy. I think a lot of people think is creepy, which means it's working. You know, they obviously want that to happen. And obviously, Marie had escaped. Emma and Jordan were left in Omira. But at the gas station, when Marie gets in the fights with the people that were trying to attack the Starlighters, so that was a nerd moment for me. So obviously I play video games. My favorite fighting video game, Mortal Kombat. In the newer Mortal Kombats, not the newest one, but my main has been for the past, so Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1, my main was Scarlet, who essentially is one of the, not Lin Kuei's, but she was a red ninja. And no, she's not a ninja, actually. I'm stupid. She's not. She just controls blood. She looks badass and controls blood and fights with blood, just like Marie does. And watching Marie get to actually use her powers, and, you know, because before she would just cut her hand and, like, throw, like, a projectile at you. But seeing her actually use her powers and just see the character development and the growth and the things you can tell she had to have done already to survive, it was a huge, I geeked out. I was so happy watching it. I love Scarlet, love Mortal Kombat, love Marie. Marie, I think, is my favorite character. She has the most, obviously being the main character, has the most going for her. And another thing too, I just realized right now, I actually hate main characters. Like if you know me, you know, and hate's a strong word, but like I never liked the main character because you know the main character is always going to come out. It's always going to level up, always going to progress. It is the side character who has to do even more and dig even deeper to get that level up, to get through what needs to be get through, to be sacrificed and then still make it. I've never been a fan of main characters. Marie is a great main character. I understand why she does what she does. I understand how she does what she does. And it's in a world where you can just look at someone and their brain explodes. She does things in like a justifiable way. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that she just doesn't, because, you know, Marie could just make heads pop as well. And we haven't seen that yet. So that was awesome. It was totally awesome watching Marie do that. We just a badass fight scene was really cool. Yeah, and Polarity, Andre's father. It's really nice to see him get a bigger role. They're handling this situation as well beautifully, perfectly. He is a sad father who lost his son, and now he wants to do whatever it takes to avenge him, to respect him, to honor his son. And it's really nice to just see his acting abilities. It's always nice when you get these characters who have importance to the other characters, but don't necessarily get the, not proper, because Gen V Season 1, I think, is almost a masterpiece, but get little screen time. And then when you give them an opportunity to just show off their skills and their acting capability and their character's capability, amazing. I love it. I love reusing characters, but making things better. And that's what Polarity's doing. He is driving the narrative for Andre's honor, and I love that. And it's almost to a fault, which I think is amazing. You know, it shows that he's just a father that's hurt. Kate proves to be one of the strongest characters still. So mini spoiler warning. I wrote, Kate proves to be one of the strongest characters, and I hope the season involves her breaking out of her trauma and fears and becoming a character that will fight alongside Starlight in the coming boys season. And she will fight Homelander, be one of like a key generals, because Kate's power is, there's no limitation on it as far as like a one-time use. Like she can kind of like command you, will you to do anything if she touches you. And spoiler, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. I felt Kate's character was always misunderstood. I think she's had the most things happen to her. I can't remember if this happens in episode 1 or 2. I'll get to that a little. We'll talk about Kate a little later. But yeah, and so moving forward onto that, Starlight. Starlight came in the show just a little bit too early for me. I understand why we had her. I think Marie coming in the boys season 4 was at the perfect time towards the later end of the season. It was just a one season thing or a one scene thing. I think that would have been perfect. I think this just a little bit too early. It does move the plot though. It gets the plot moving, and they even make fun of how the plot moves, because they're like with Odessa. Talk about that a little later. But it was just a little too early for me. Granted, what's the word I'm looking for? She wasn't a crutch. She just says, hey, do this, and then bounces, which I think was, for what we were doing, the proper usage of it. So I'm 50-50 on that. Yeah, dude. I just wrote more Cypher questions, like how did he get so high up? How did he get the position? I mean, he just grabs Kate's hand. Like he grabs a person who can't be, like if she touches you, like it's over. And does he have superpowers? We haven't seen him do anything or even give the slightest bit of clue. He's just kind of smart. He just says, hey, if you do this, this will happen. You know, and that's almost, you know, we can all critically think, and we can all get from point A to point B, but you know, when he puts Kate's hand in the blender. Like, dude, for you to grab Kate and assert dominance is crazy work. Crazy. And so, yeah, I don't know. But so the ending of the episode, when Emma and Jordan are looking for Marie, they run into Kate, or Kate runs into them, finds them. Kate was looking for them. And yeah, Kate's bleeding out on the floor. And I think this is where Kate, I believe, like when she says like she tried everything to just protect them, like I believe her. And I know I was looking forward, but like I felt Kate was so misunderstood. One of those characters who just like, originally she was the one meeting all these shitty people and all these people that were like controlling Golden Boy and controlling all these people. Like Kate was there first. Kate has been in the system the longest. She knows how dark and gritty these people are. And she truly did everything she could to protect her friends. And I think her ways of going about it were not correct, but like, what can you do when you're scared the way she's been scared? Like her yeah, so good. I love Kate. I love Kate's powers. I think she's misunderstood. And she's had the most, like her hand gets blown up by her friends. Her bleeds out in front of her, like in her eyes, those are her friends. Like, and she knows she wronged them, but she also knows like she saved them. They're alive. And when she gets left out to bleed is when I think her character lost all of that. And all my hopes for Kate's character were kind of washed away. Yeah. Episode 2, I loved the animosity between Jordan and Marie. I think both of them are correct in their ways of going about everything. And I think in a real-time relationship, okay, like how do you know? I can't even say that. Like in a real relationship, if you were to leave your boyfriend or girlfriend in a cave for several months and they were experimented on, like, okay, I can't use that example, but I just feel like in a hypothetical world, the way those two act towards each other with the animosity and the anger towards each other and like the expectations of like being there for one another, that's how it would happen. And it's pretty freaking crazy that Marie didn't try to come back. Like really crazy. Really crazy. I understand she's scared. She's never been anything part of that. She's less than a year into Godolphin, but like, come on. And yeah, like, again, I'm just talking here about like, dude, Kate has had the most, like, not severity, but like, Kate's been through it all. Kate has literally been through it all. And I just really makes me sad that people misunderstand Kate. And Cypher says his job is not to baby, but train the students. So who gave him that role? Episode 2, he puts them in the hero progression class course for the students that he believes could actually become heroes or tools. And I just really want to know, like, what are we doing? Who is Cypher? Vought's hidden Nazi room was hilarious. It just really goes to show what the whole universe was entirely built upon and what it's always kind of has been this like supremacist white power, so to speak. It's hilarious as these characters are just figuring all this crap out. But it also shows like how scary that world would be in. Like, I don't think anyone would want to live in a universe like that, especially, the first episode of The Boys. Huey's just making out with his girl, and then his girl A-train right through her. Crazy work. And then I also wonder what the full extent of Emma's powers are. When she was rolling on Molly, I think it was Molly. I don't know if they ever said. She just said she was rolling. But when she was rolling, she can hear the fans through a steel door. Like huge steel door. And it just really makes me wonder what are Emma's actual powers? I feel like it's got to be more than grow or shrink, because that was pretty crazy. That door was thick. And Emma is a character that I think is getting a little more time than I would like. I never thought much of her character. Didn't hate her. But she's stepping up into a higher role, which I appreciate. And so far, I'm invested. Not the front of my attention, but not bad. And just got to see more. Just got to see where that's going to take us. And I don't want to like give it an actual opinion because it's still developing and happening in real time. But Emma, there's a question mark next to her name because she can obviously do more. And yeah, the Odessa prediction, my Odessa prediction will be that Marie and her sister will face off in the finale. That was prior to watching episode 3. That's not happening. That is absolutely not happening. Bad take, Jake. Episode 3. So Jordan and Marie are back together, so to speak. That's quotes. They had sex. During sex, Marie said, "I love you." It made me laugh so hard how Jordan just completely ignored her after that. It made me laugh really hard. It felt a little out of character. Like I feel like in season 1, Jordan was invested in Marie, and for him to kind of just, I wonder if that comes from, and they don't talk about it too much, but if it comes from like a place of like fear of being left again, it's the only thing I could really do to justify that. But it did feel a little out of character. I thought it was hilarious. And the stinger, dude, let me see if I could find this real quick. But the stinger teacher ambassador, Stacey Farah, I believe. Yeah. So Stacey Farah, I love how she just, every time you see her, she's telling people to do things and then she goes, "Watch the stinger. It'll kill you. And then it'll kill me." That cracks me up every single time she says it. I love that the universe is not afraid to do new and unique things. Sometimes do they take it overboard? Absolutely. When homie came out of homie's ass as he's on all fours, not cool. Funny, I get it, but we've already done it. Like, let's move on. But yeah, the stinger, hilarious. Stacey's hilarious. I hope she keeps telling the same joke. I really do. I know the redundancy in Peacemaker is something that irks me. And in this, when a joke actually works because it's being redundant, just keep it rolling. And Marie's improvements with her power is cool. We're seeing everything, like she's gradually getting better and stronger throughout every episode. And that's amazing. It's cool. I wonder what Endgame will be like. Will it be fully like Mortal Kombat where she can create this blood wall around her, or this like Gara, like, sand burial, sand coffin, or maybe like a suit of armor, like what is Marie's full extent of her powers? Super curious, super excited to see. Yeah. And Sam seeing the puppets again. Whoa. Like Sam's puppet scenes, they're so good. They just work. In a show like this that's so dark, him just being on a kid's show, seeing the world in this view from like the child's point of view, it just works. It's so good. It also means he is about to snap. He's going to go absolutely insane, go full crazy. I'm excited. I'm super excited. And the sandwich. So the sandwich, when the sandwich says Hak Tui and spits, I died. That sandwich spitting saying Hak Tui is better than anything in Peacemaker so far. I stand by that statement. I'll die on that hill. It was just hilarious. It's like it used the whole Hak Tua sensation that went around the world, made fun of it, but it made fun of it while using it. It's the boys does such a great job of taking real-time world events, real life world events, and putting them in a show and just making fun of like the extremists out there. Because I don't want to get political, don't want to talk about anything like that. But like whether you're left, right, in the middle, doing a circle, like If you're an extremist for any kind to the point where you can't hear another person's thoughts, you're an idiot. You're just dumb. And I think that's what this show does. It's just like F you to the people that take everything way too far. It was great. And then keeping on the topic of not keeping things political, when you just keep seeing everyone shout, "Make America Super Again," and seeing Jordan and all of them on their posters and Homelander, it's hilarious. Excuse me. So I wrote this. I'm going to correct it right now. I love that we finally got a speedster, and then we still don't know who the speedster is. I was super excited, super looking forward to seeing a speedster, and we just get nothing. We get absolutely nothing. We find out that the chameleon, Harper, that's her powers. They always thought it was like a rat. She has the powers of a chameleon, so she can touch someone and she can take their powers for 60 seconds. Welcome to the war. She will be in the final season of The Boys because that power is broken. Her power is almost like what the Compound V was to a sense. And just absolutely broken. There's no way around it. She will be in the war for superheroes versus starlighters, or soups. I should say soups because they're all superheroes, but soups are like the evil ones. Soups versus starlighters. Broken. I want to know who the speedster she touched is. I don't know if we've seen any form of speedsters other than A-Train. So very interesting on that. And then I just talk about Kate. So Kate, she's been broken. She's choosing now to make bad choices. And it's like slowly going downhill for Kate, for me, because I loved her. But now I'm like, come on, Kate. Like, you're better than that. Like, you're better than that, Kate. And I know you are. You know you are. I think her character arc will end with her maybe going full Golden Boy. I wouldn't be surprised if she does that, if she terminates. I don't know if I could say that on YouTube, so I'm not going to say it. You know what I mean? Control, Alt, Delete. I'm really curious, I think, and that's me hoping she turns good, and I think she'll do the right thing and either pay the price for it and die due to someone of the higher ups just finding out what's going on and then putting a stop to it, which I think will suck. But I don't think Kate makes it out of this season. And so Cypher, Dr. Gold, short for Godolkin? You tell me. Is that a reach? I don't know. Maybe Godolkin has been handed down and, obviously they have their own like little secret society, but maybe that's who Cypher is. Cypher is a Godolkin throughout the generations, or I guess there's not that many generations. So maybe like great grandfather, who knows? That's my guess as of right now, is he is a good Dr. Gold is a Godolkin. Aunt Pam. Excuse me. What's going on, Aunt Pam? What are we doing? Excuse me. Whoa. Yeah, like, I understand it, but like, extreme, so extreme, And I feel like Annabeth is also going to be, I don't think she'll have powers. I think Annabeth will be a human because Annabeth was a natural baby, as they discussed. Marie was a Compound V baby, Project baby. Shout out Kodak. But the hunt for Annabeth begins. Who can we trust? Who can we not trust? It seems like every new character just can't trust them. So excited for that. I wonder where Annabeth is. I don't remember if they actually say anything on where her whereabouts are. They said she had just left, but I wonder who they're going to cast for Annabeth. Curious. You know, I'm kind of hoping she's human, kind of hoping she's a soup. I don't know. And huge question I have. So before I get to the ending, I have only one more statement to say on everything. But before I get to the ending, I want to talk. The question that I have is, will there be a Gen V season 3? I'm saying a lot of these things as if this is the last season leading into the last season of The Boys. But at the same time, because we confirmed The Boys, one more season, confirmed. Vought Rising, a prequel, confirmed. You know, but like, what does the future look like for this war that's to come? I also have not read The Boys comics, so spoiler free on that. I don't know what's the correct ending. I don't know what. I've heard some things throughout the seasons of The Boys that have been changed a little bit. There's a lot of big changes, but I don't know anything moving forward. I want to keep that fresh as possible and really, but like, is this the end of Gen V? I hope not, because I love what they're doing. I love these characters. I just love this universe. Yeah, like I'm just curious. And so then obviously the ending of the episode, and I thought it was going to happen at the end of the episode, but Jordan having his Watergate moment said, "I loves you." And I feel like that completed Jordan's character arc. I think Jordan does not make it through the next episode. I think Jordan is for sure dead. Like I was screaming at my monitor when he said, "I love you," because I just knew the only thing left for the character to do now is die. And that sucks. That sucks. But like, how great, if you watch these 3 episodes, if you listen to me talk about these 3 episodes right now, how great were those episodes? Just absolutely fantastic. I mean, the worst episode I would give like a 8.5. A couple people didn't like the first episode. The first episode might have been my favorite. I'm being so honest. This show's direction is just fantastic. They're killing it right now. And yeah, following that, I want to go into the comic book of the week. And this one is another independent one. Something that I literally read this week. I had seen it over the last year and a half. Just good thing. And not like seeing it everywhere, but just little bits and pieces. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. It was like $12 for the volume 1. Each volume is like 5-6 comics. And wow, I have ordered the rest of the volumes. I'm gonna grind through this. I've only read volumes 1 and 2, but oops. Something is Killing the Children by James Tynion. Oh my goodness. Talk about original, unique, just so well done. You know, this is what the back says. I'm going to read this to you in real time. It's the monsters who should be afraid. When the children of Archer's Peak, a sleepy town in the heart of America, begin to go missing, everything seems hopeless. Most children never return, but the ones that do have terrible stories, impossible details of terrifying creatures that live in the shadows. Their only hope of finding and eliminating the threat is the arrival of a mysterious stranger, one who believes the children and claims to be the only one who sees what they see. Her name is Erica Slaughter. She kills monsters. That is all she does, and she bears the cost because it must be done. Yeah, the art in this is phenomenal. The story in this is phenomenal. The depth of the characters is phenomenal. And you can tell some of these characters are characters that will only be in this little arc, or characters that will be with Erica in the future. Erica Slaughter is an amazing original character. And just fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. I don't have high enough praise. I've already given this copy to my buddy Christian. Gonna give the second one to Christian today. Gonna give this to Nate, Blake, a couple other people. Just wow. I mean, I cannot recommend this enough. Out of everything that I've offered to be read on my channel so far, I don't know. I haven't done that one yet. Absolute Superman, really good. I think this is better than Radiant Black and Void Rivals. I don't know. I think so. And this is obviously my personal Golden Sun. Nothing will ever beat Golden Sun. Pierce Brown, you are my hero. You are my idol. I love you. Love me back. Fantastic Four, Jonathan Hickman run. Yeah, I think so. Absolute Superman. Yeah. Like, out of everything I've recommended, I would put this at the top. I really would. Outside of the Red Rising series, like I said, Pierce Brown, I love you. Love me back. But as far as comic book goes, like, this is the greatest comic I could recommend you guys. It's one of my favorite things ever. It's just so fresh. I haven't read anything like this since I was a kid, maybe. Yeah, Something is Killing the Children. Volumes 1 and 2 I have right here. And like I said, if you're a local listener, like, feel free to reach out. Like, ask me questions on comics. Ask me if you can borrow things. Like, I'll absolutely loan everything I have out. Like, I just want to spread the positivity of reading comics and bringing that art back. But it's Something Killing the Monsters. Oh, what? No. Something is Killing the Children. I think I said monsters a couple times. Oh my gosh. Erica Slaughter. Fantastic original character. I don't know if you could see on here too. Like, it's just this one. On the back it was saying right here. But I mean, like this is 2020 Ringo Award nominee Best Series, 2020 Eisner Award nominee Best New Series, 2020 Award nominee Book of the Year. Like, Book of the Year is crazy and fantastic. Like, please, if you respect my opinion as like someone who reads, I mean, it only takes like 40 minutes max to read this entire book. Check it out. Just check it out. Let me know if you like it or you don't. I promise you will. But yeah, on that note, next week, going to be kind of reviewing Peacemaker episode 6, Gen V episode 4, and then also going to be watching one battle after another, the new Leonardo DiCaprio film. So be in store for that. Today, I did not talk about the award, my award predictions for the year. I really want to sit in. I want to treat that as my most respected take. So I want to do the justice of really deep diving and thinking about what I will predict for. I'm only going to do the major categories. Yeah, and I didn't review my top 5 Pixar movies. I want to save that for another episode as well. So I apologize. Those will be coming before the year ends. I don't know when, but yeah. As always. Peace and love. Have a good one. Thank you.